with that being said, what are some of the good things that have come out of this year? Because we all know the bad, and we just scratched the surface on the bad so far. Yeah. I would tell you first off, I mean, the cook-up got up off the ground in 2020. We thought about this we talked about it for a couple years, but we finally put that idea, put some action behind that idea.
The prime example of having time to think, and having time to say, oh yeah, we can push forward with this and get something out of it.
I saved some money on my insurance by switching to Geico.
Probably rim me up $1 million in that kitchen. For these rappers ain't dealing with these niggas. Probably ran me up $1 million in that kitchen. Real trapper, and you in it when I did it. My nigga did that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo. My nigga did that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo. My nigga did that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo. My nigga did that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo, that cuckoo. My nigga did that cuckoo.
We made it. Well, we ain't made it yet.
We ain't made it yet.
We ain't quite made it yet. We almost there.
Almost there, man.
But don't,
I pray we all get there.
Don't fumble at the 1 yard line. It's been a crazy one for sure. Absolutely. You know, I got this, I'm repping for my dog, KB Kobe Bryant. That's kind of when the year got started crazy for me. Who knew?
Who knew?
That was just the beginning of the bad news.
Cause I called y'all like, man, I'm seeing all this on my timeline talking about Kobe dead. I was like, man, you heard anything?
But what it had everybody doing, everybody was trying to find a reliable source.
Yeah.
Like, I see it on this, and that, but I don't know how reliable that is.
That was crazy, but like I say, that was just the beginning. Cause shortly thereafter,
Coronavirus.
We didn't know that it was gonna be what it is.
It's real.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? First people was like, oh man, that's another one of them things. That's another H1N1. That's another swine flu. That's another Ebola, whatever we had to scare a few years ago.
Another one of them election year virus.
You know, another one of those, right?
Well, were we wrong?
We were definitely wrong about that.
Corona came around and stuck like that cousin who don't never have nothing but always want something.
I know what you're
know what I'm saying?
Right. But what time you leaving?
What time you leaving? My mama is hoarding Lysol and disinfecting spray, so I will be selling that for $49.99.
So you got it on deck.
I got it on deck.
You got stock.
Contact me, I will get you some Lysol.
With that being said, what's some of the things that you kind of like took for granted?
Just you never knew how much you appreciated just going out, being around people. Even though you don't want to communicate with them, it was just the fact that you can go out
and feel safe.
And feel safe
in a public place.
Yes. Like, that's crazy. You can't even enjoy Thanksgiving, Christmas like you really want to.
You gotta get your place to go now, Thanksgiving.
Right.
You do drive-by plate pickup.
Right.
Drive-by birthdays.
Little things like that you just took for granted. You expected, at the very least, you'd be able to go to your family for the holidays. I never realized how much I just been practicing social distancing before this, because I really didn't like going out the house, being around people unless it was intentional anyway. I literally used to, when I go to a grocery store and I had to get something on this aisle and I look down and there's somebody down there,
You go to another aisle.
I'll go to the next aisle and just wait until they cleared out.
Wow, I didn't know you do that. You got OCD?
I don't like people.
You don't like
And what bothers me is the fact that these anti-maskers, these people who sit here doing all this protesting, like, man, who cares how you feel? It ain't about people. It ain't about you. If you're not worried about getting sick, that's fine. But you can carry this virus and get other people sick. We just got a vaccine and
don't nobody want to take it.
We got the vaccine for the coronavirus, COVID-19, but you know, the rumblings I'm hearing is they can have 1 million vaccines. Ain't nobody taking it.
It ain't what it do, man.
Cause I'm gonna be swag surfing around that movie. Now I be swag in here.
You know-
not the country. I ain't trying to pass that.
By the time it's readily available, and we still just doing this 3 months now, I'm taking it. I'll take 2 of them.
Yeah, cause Charlamagne said it best. The way he broke it down, he was like, some people will go out and have a one night stand.
Right.
They scared of a vaccine.
Yeah.
But
That ain't what he said.
That ain't what he said. I'm trying to
that
keep
ain't
it
what he
clean.
said. But I'm gonna tell you personally, man. Me personally, I never really been into taking vaccines and stuff. I've never had a flu shot.
Me?
I've never
Never
taken
in my
one.
life have I had a
I
flu
have.
shot.
I've never taken a flu shot.
I have.
And I've
Since that
never
day.
had the flu.
Since that day, I would never take it again.
Did you
Let
get
me
sick?
ask you this:
You
have you
got
had
sick?
the flu since you've taken it?
Since I taken it, no, I haven't had the flu. But when I took the flu shot, bruh, I threw up so bad.
But you know what? You're the first person
Yeah, I heard
that
that.
I've actually heard say that they had a flu shot and haven't had the flu
I have.
after they got shot. Because every person I know that had a flu shot has told me that they've actually had the flu afterward.
Right.
Because of the quarantine, Too Short, E40, Snoop, and Ice Cube pretty much got an album completed because
Yeah.
they was just stuck at the
Stuck
crib.
in the crib.
Too Short said they got roughly 25 songs. So
That's
if you a fan of some old school hip hop, especially on the West Coast, I'm looking forward to
I'm
that.
looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they do that. I'm gonna put that out.
Yeah,
And speaking of the music,
right.
I was looking forward to Shake That Money Maker.
Oh,
Take that
man.
money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football
That song-
season.
That was
Classic.
like the perfect song for
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
classic.
it was.
You can
Man, Chains.
2 Chainz. Whenever the classic kick back off,
You got
promise,
it wrong, bro.
promise us,
That's
promise America, promise the South, promise the HBCUs that you will perform that song at the classic.
Now, he did go to Alabama State
State.
for a minute.
Tell
Saying
me.
you got to bring it to Birmingham and perform that one live.
Mandatory.
That was that song right there. That song probably was impacted the most by the coronavirus.
Okay.
I would say because that could have taken off crazy during the football season.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Every band was gonna be playing that.
There have been some other things some positive things that have come out of 2020 with Swiss Beats and Timbaland
Yeah,
creating the
Verzuz.
verses.
Verse.
I think that's here to stay well past. When the world opens back up, I would like to see verses take place live.
Live.
Can you imagine being able to go to a verses live concert?
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what it's gonna head to.
Yeah, we're gonna head
because
to.
of The way that, prime example, the way that Gucci Mane and Jesus
Jesus.
thing went down.
Ooh, Gucci.
Imagine that being a concert,
I'm not going to that one.
a stage.
I'm in the. I got to
Shit,
go through
that would have been the one to go
They're
to.
gonna go to in the Hawks. What's called?
Yeah.
Bruh. I sat there and watched that in my bed.
And you nervous.
I was nervous.
Nervous.
I was nervous. I'm like, man, I don't want to see one of these brothers get murdered on this TV tonight.
Yeah.
After it was all said and done, after they performed Icy, I breathed a sigh of relief. Because when Gucci got up there and the first song he did
What's the diss song?
Yeah.
was dissing this man to his face, I was like, man, this ain't gonna go. This ain't gonna
Send
end
another
well.
on my way. I'm gonna put him in the spot.
This ain't gonna end well.
This is round one of Gucci Mane versus Jesus. How did you feel though when they started performing So Icy?
I feel like it was a setup.
That was definitely a setup. That was definitely planned, but I felt good, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel
it didn't give you it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, like I say, I watched the whole thing and I was on the edge, on the edge of my seat the whole night. That kind of just put me
It
at ease.
kind of sounded better.
It did sound better.
It sounded better because I didn't like it at first. I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
I was not a
Oh
fan
yeah, I
of
didn't
that.
like that.
Pineapples.
I did not like that song, but it definitely sounded better during that versus battle.
The thing that
Yeah.
I hate one put out to the public because they did ride Gucci out for the way he did it, but then they didn't put out to the public afterwards how he said he felt bad for doing it.
Yeah, they kept their hood.
They kept that kind of hush.
I didn't know that.
I never heard anybody say that he felt bad afterwards.
Yeah.
But that was the versus battle of all versus battles so far. I enjoyed DMX and Snoop. That was my favorite one to watch. But this Gucci Jesus, that's been the best one.
That's the
Now with
bill.
that being said though, That's like, you know how you watch a TV show and you know that last episode is like the climax of everything?
Right.
That's what that felt like.
But I don't think you're gonna be able to top that because that had like
It was real life
It was
shit.
real life shit.
it was real life. That was like some real life beef that was still at that time. It was still ongoing. It's not like it had been squashed. It won't be the same. But let's say a Jay-Z and a Nas did a Verzuz now, because that beef has been put to rest ages ago.
Right.
Or Drake and Meek, they done put that to rest. They done a song together. So like,
they've been on stage together.
you know, so it's not like I don't know of any time that Gucci and Jeezy been in the same room together, and that was like the first time for that. So you know, you won't be able to recreate nothing like that with another one.
Who would you like to see?
Tupac and Biggie.
I ain't ready to see that one. What's your reason why? What's your reason why you ain't ready to see that one?
Hey, you gotta love this guy, man.
I would like to see my boy J. Cole and Kendrick have a verse, man. Cause they got them hits, man.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That's a, man.
I'd like to see
J. Cole and Kendrick. That would be something.
That would be
That would
something.
be something now, man.
I'd like to see another Atlanta one.
What you got?
Thug and Future.
Thug and Future.
Future
That'll be
kill
fun.
it.
That'll be fun.
I think Future get him because Future catalog's bigger.
Yeah, Future got well.
But I think it'll be fun because Thug will hold his own because I still don't.
Thug got some hit.
Hell yeah.
Alright, Young Thug. Everybody got their own opinion on this dude.
Right.
And if you ever took a second to actually, well, if you actually able to understand what he's saying and listen to what he's saying in his song, the boy can actually rap.
And me and my wife were talking. Me and my wife were talking about this one right here.
What you got?
A female R&B battle. Who do you think would be a good one? Who? I put it like that.
They had Ashanti and what's the name?
But that I don't. When I think about R&B, I don't think about that.
You know.
Who you like?
Think about Mary.
Who could battle Mary?
Ooh,
See you see me and you there. See that's what I said. I had my wife. I said who could you put up against Mary?
You gotta have a soul.
And the only person I thought about who could battle her wasn't another female artist.
Who?
R. Kelly.
Boy, we in the same boat, bro.
I'll be game for
She
them.
can't even get with
Bruh.
Kelly. She can't get with Kelly, man.
Honest to God, y'all say what y'all want about
Hey.
R. Kelly as a human being,
Bruh.
and it's
Hey.
probably
She can't get with
justified.
Kelly. I'm sorry.
But
Hey.
musically, you talk about songs.
Hit-
I don't
hit.
think
Oh, it ain't
nobody
like
It ain't
Boosie
nobody
said,
getting no
can
way.
fuck R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Nobody R. Kelly.
Nobody.
Hey.
Nobody fuck R. Kelly
I'm
catalog.
in total agreement.
Hey.
Total agreement.
Nobody's fucking R. Kelly catalog. I'm sorry.
Hell no.
It's been a good year for hip hop specifically, and simply just speaking about like bodies of work that's been released this year. Like it feels so long ago, but Jadakiss dropped an album earlier this year, which is my favorite Jadakiss album. Nas dropped one of the better albums he done dropped in the past 10 years with King's Disease. And you had T.I. get you another one. Jeezy just dropped one, which is solid. But
2 Chainz.
my favorite one for the year, So Help Me God.
So help me.
I
John.
can't stop listening
I
to
can't.
it.
Well, and even with Tip, though, I think that was Tip's best album in a minute.
We lost another person. 2020. We lost Black Panther.
Man,
Shit.
now that was crazy. Because if you wasn't just following him,
You didn't even know.
you didn't even know he was sick.
Not at all.
Cause I didn't know until he passed away. I did not
Exactly.
know that man was sick.
That was crazy because super unexpected, and the way he passed, you know, it wasn't a sudden tragedy like COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Bro, the fact that he been, you know, dealing with that for 4 years
4 years.
and still working the whole
Working.
time.
He was dealing with that for 4 years, and also he had created a following of him being a superhero.
A superhero. A black superhero.
He became, you know, like he was Superman
Of
to
us.
No, Black Panther was a big deal to see, you know, representation matters on that screen,
Cause
bro.
I would have been mad if Black Panther would have been white.
Boy, you know you can say some shit.
If Black Panther was white,
It wouldn't be right.
it wouldn't be right. I'd be like, man, throw the whole movie away. I'm not watching it.
I'm with you, bro. If Black Panther was white, it wouldn't have hit the
It
same.
wouldn't.
Nah, it
Cause
wouldn't.
everything related to Black Panther is us. That in my knowledge,
Right.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
forever, man. 2020, man.
2020.
2020.
So we had the coronavirus, and we've lost some giants in the black community. You know, we talking Kobe, we talking Chadwick, Boseman, the Black Panther, and these people that everybody loved and adored, but people that we did not know their name until they passed. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, you know. George Floyd, watching that public execution, really is still change is still underway, but that set off a movement unlike anything that I've ever.
Yeah.
This one felt different. We've been through
Yeah.
protests in the past, but this one felt different.
Mm-hmm.
People in some places are still protesting and rioting, and that his death sparked that.
Yep.
That civil unrest. It even hit home in Birmingham.
You
Yep.
wanna know what I think was the difference is though?
What was it?
I kind of feel like the fact it wasn't just us that was protesting.
Right.
We had different races
Mm-hmm.
hopping there with us. That has happened before, but not at the caliber it happened this time. And then not only that, you know how most celebrities usually keep quiet on stuff like this because they felt like they wanted to keep their money and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in their investment from companies going. Those celebrities started talking.
Well, that in the simple fact that we were under lockdown. People
Right.
were in quarantine. You couldn't go anywhere. You
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. Wasn't no I could just turn this off and go
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah.
it's forefront. This is the news.
Yes,
This
the
is
news,
what
yeah.
you have to deal with.
This episode wasn't gonna finish without him talking about the Lakers being
The
back.
Lake
Not Kobe,
Show.
but the Lakers being
Tell you what,
Hey,
hey, I don't want them to go out. LeBron go out, AD go out, they are going down.
You can say that about any team anywhere.
No, you cannot.
If Giannis go down, the Bucks are done.
Yeah.
Kawhi go down, the Clippers are done. KD go down, the Brooklyn is done.
They done anyway.
Harden go down, the Rockets are done. You can't take the best player off the team and say that they gonna like anybody anywhere. Anybody anywhere. You take Patrick Mahomes off the Chiefs are done.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you can't sit here and say you take away LeBron or AD that the Lakers are done. We had a bunch of terrible years. I mean, god awful. We had Smush Parker was our starting point guard. Smush Parker now.
How many championships? Because see, this is always the talk when I turn on ESPN. It's like, are they gonna win them? Give them a good stretch of about 3, and LeBron's gonna be done. What you being a fan, and I know you watch basketball closely.
Dude.
What do you really see them doing? Because you easily,
Repeating this year.
like, easily.
So all I need now is Bama to come on through that first week in January. This might be the best year for sports for me in my entire life.
You know, with a lot of this stuff that's going on, though, I kind of think it was also like a gift and a curse at the same time. Taking that curse and getting a gift out of it. Because if you look around, look at all the little small businesses that it popped up.
Popped up and flooded.
And people didn't start working for themselves more.
Right.
Due to the fact that they've been at home and been able to research and figure out something else they like to do besides.
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
Absolutely, that's an absolute